Program evaluation and review technique is a technique adopted by organizations to analyze and represent the activity in a project and to illustrate the flow of events in a project. PERT is a method to evaluate and estimate the time required to complete a task within the deadlines. PERT serves as a management tool to analyze, define, and integrate events. PERT also illustrates the activities and interdependencies in a project. The main goal of PERT is to reduce cost and time needed to complete a project. PERT was developed by US Navy in 1950s during Cold War and is intended for large projects, which could be complex, requires a series of sequential tasks performed in parallel and with other projects. PERT planning usually involves the following steps: task identification, then task sequencing, then network diagramming, time estimating. Time estimating is actually the most interesting part of the PERT because PERT always utilizes three estimates for every activity. Like optimistic time estimate is the shortest time possible to complete an activity. Most likely time estimate is the completion time having the highest probability. And pessimistic time estimate is the longest time to complete an activity. After identifying all these times, we are required to calculate the expected time for any activity, and then we are required to create a point network, and then a critical path is created within the network. PERT not only determines the time to complete a specific software development activity but also determines the cost. PERT is a method of analyzing the task involved in completion of a given project, especially the time needed to complete each task and to identify the minimum time needed to complete the total project. It incorporates uncertainty by making it possible to schedule a project while not knowing precisely the detail and duration of all the activities. It is more of an event-oriented technique rather than start and completion oriented, and is used more in those projects where time is major factor rather than cost. It is applied on very large scale, one-time, complex, non-routine infrastructure, and on research and development projects. PERT offers a management tool which relies on arrow and node diagrams of activities and events. Arrows represent the activities or work necessary to reach the event, or nodes that indicate that each completed project phase of the project. PERT and CPM are complementary tools because CPM employs one more time estimation and one cost estimation for each activity. PERT may utilize three time estimates optimistic, expected, and pessimistic, and no cost for each activity. Although these are distinct differences in terms of PERT, is applied increasingly to all critical path scheduling. In PERT diagrams, the main building block is the event, with connections to its known predecessor events or successor events. PERT event is a point that marks the start or completion of one or more of the activities. It consumes no time and uses no resource. When it marks the completion of one or more activities, it is not reached until all the activities leading to that event have been completed. Predecessor event is an event that immediately precedes some other event without any other events intervening. An event can have multiple predecessors event and can be the predecessor for multiple events also. Successor event is an event that immediately follows some other event without any other intervening events. An event can have multiple successor events and can be successor to multiple events also. Besides events, PERT also known as creation of activities and sub-activities. PERT activity is the actual performance of a task which consumes time and requires resources such as labor, material, space, machinery. It can be understood as representing the time, effort, and resources required to move from one event to another. A PERT activity cannot be performed until the predecessor event has occurred. PERT sub-activity is an activity which can be further decomposed into sub-activities. A sub-activity can be decomposed again into finer grain or sub-activities. Thank you.